Hello again, it's Pete here. Bit love-hate this one. I love 49er Market. Hate the fact that I don't get to do much with it, right? I get to play with it, but these videos, it's kind of, Jess does such a great job, but she's on maternity right now, so it means I get to play. And they said, would you like to do a video? Just choose a couple of the stamp sets from the new collection. That was the hard bit, because if you've seen the collection, go and check it out, just have a look. Seeing the collection to choose two was impossible, or near on impossible. I've managed to do it. These are the two, and we're going to make something really nice with these, and I'm going to show you some fantastic new inks from 49er Market and Ranger. Let's get going. Now for stamping, there's no better place to start than my stamp and stencil tool. Obviously we're not stenciling today, so I'll take this out. Stencil adapter. If you're not sure, you don't know about this tool, then go to the Sizzix website, look at the stamp and stencil tool hub, and you will find out all about it and more. Now, obviously it's a stamp platform, but we don't use magnets. We use what we call a sticky grid sheet. This one's seen some action. It's still tacky. It still works perfectly well. I don't have to worry about it because it's just there to hold my project in place. That's all. But it doesn't impede the project like magnets do. Same with the stencils. Now, I'm going to stamp using that wonderful set. It's called Special Delivery. And it's not just a stamp set. It's dies as well. So those are the stamps, and one of the things I adore about 49er Market is when you get one of those stamp sets, you are getting real value for money. They've thought of everything. There is so much going on. There's so much variety. So if you're looking for that Christmas letter look, if you maybe making your own letters from Santa, because obviously he's very busy this time of year, that's a good way to go. And let's bring in some of the stamps, because I'm going to make a stamp. I'm going to make a lovely stamp. I'm going to pop that one there. There we are. We'll put the other three to the side. Now, what am I going to use today? Well, I'm going to use 49er Market dye inks from Ranger. How about that? Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, the names, watermelon, just peachy, pink sands, those wonderfully evocative names, but these are dye inks. They're also water reactive. They're incredibly intense pigments as well. I'm going to use these three today, but we're going to look at some of the others, because I've only just received these. I'm playing around with them, having a lot of fun. I'm going to start off with just peachy. And dye inks, water reactive inks, they have some special properties, and we're going to try to show some of that today, just from a stamping perspective. Of course, you also have blending, but I'm going to apply the ink, and I'm going to do, now there are many things I could do. I could ink and stamp. I could ink, spritz with water, and stamp. That would give me a real mottled effect. I could ink, stamp, and then spritz. So again, we're looking at variety. I could blend two colors on the same stamp, even three colors. I could do that, and then it would give me a lovely mottled watercolored ombre effect. So I'm stamping, I'm spritzing, and I'm bringing that in. And that is going to create a wonderfully mottled, almost like a watercolor background. Now, I could have gone with just flat color, a plain square, which would have been fine. It would have been absolutely fine, but we're going to a different place today. That's not what we want. So that's the just peachy in all its gorgeous intensity. But when you blend it out, and when you blend it with other colors as well, oh my word. Now, something peculiar to dye inks, when you stamp with them, I'm using the holly and berries now. When you stamp with dye inks, it's a really cool color, but the more that you add, the greater the intensity. So I'm stamping there. That looks fine, but then when I do it a second time, can you see? It's getting darker. It's the same color, but the intensity is is making it. So if we contrast it against that background, and I'll even do it a third time. There we are, so it's going to be deeper still. So not only are you getting a wonderful color, a wonderful pigment, but the more, so when you blend it out, you get this color. The more that you do it, the more intense the color becomes. I think that is a fantastic property for an ink pad to have. That is something that you get with dyeing pads. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to do the same thing with this. This is kind of like a border, which encloses that square. So I'll take this, I'll apply, and remember we're using just one color. I could mix this up. I could bring in some other colors. I could go with a gray there. But no, we're going to stamp it 3 times. And look how quick and accurate it is with this. Even though I'm taking it off, when I place it back down, take it off the hinge, ink it, put it back down. And given how super thin the lines on the stamper, to get that level of accuracy and intensity of color, wow, that's something, isn't it? That's testament to the manufacturing quality of this tool, which is very important, let us not forget. Now, I'm now stamping the wood forever. And you probably think to yourself, well, if you stamp the same color, how are we going to see it? But again, we're using that property of things whereby if you do it multiple times, see how it's starting to sand away, but it's the same color, but it's becoming more intense. It's the same with flavors. So say you've got some blackcurrant squash. The more you add, the more intense. Still the blackcurrant flavor, but it's very, very, very sickly when you start adding too much. But here it's anything but sickly. It's absolutely perfect. So that's it. That's my stamping done. Now, what I need is to go over to my lovely dies. So I've got a die set, and it's all these lovely little apertures. This one is going to cut my stamp, and this one is going to cut my holly. So for all the little things, there's a candy cane, there's a Christmas tree, snowflake, a bauble. We've got a different die for each one. So we'll go across and die cut that in a second. But before we do, let's take that away, because I want to make, this is going to be my, now actually, do you know what, we'll do this after. I'll put it in place, I'll put the lid back on, and we'll come back to that. So I do love this when we're doing a video, making it up as we go along. But let's take that out of shot for a second, because I want to bring in my big shot machine, my trusty, ever-present, careworn big shot machine. Don't know what this is. Oh, it's a bit of acrylic paint. Oh well, live to fight another day. Take that out, pop it in place. Now we're wafer thin dies, so I know I need to work with my base platform, with my wafer thin die adapter or A plate, and my cutting plate. Then I'll place these down. Now, to ensure accuracy, you put these down very, very carefully. And the last thing you want is for them to slip out of registration. The best way to do that is using Sizzix Maker's tape. And it's something that is also reusable. So I tend to just pop it on the side of my machine. There we are, and there is my holly and berries. Let's pop that so it should leave a nice border around the outside as well. Now, that's it. So we sandwich that between the two plates into the machine and run it through. It really is that simple. Now pop those out. There's my holly berries. There's my stamp. Just need to put one on top of the other. But before we do that, let's get back to our card, because it is a card we're making. And the next thing I want to do, I want to turn my attention to, it's something I've pre-stamped, but it's the candy stripes. So what you're getting with this set are two different stamps, but then you can combine them. So what we've done here, that's the red or the red-orange, that one is the green. Put them together, we get that for a wonderful, wonderful, and it's not just a festive background either. If I did that in, say, orange and grape, we're talking about Halloween. So, you know, it's just a great classic background, but you can use them independent of each other, or you can use them in combination, and that's what you get. And we did the same thing before. Now this is the spritzing. So see, it looks like it's painted with watercolor. And I used the watermelon ink pad to create this effect. So I stamped it as normal, and then I put the ink on the pad and I spritzed it before bringing it down. So it pooled on the card and it's given me that lovely mottling. And I'm only using the outside in truth anyway. So, okay. That is that one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Remember, we put this onto our stamp and stencil tool earlier because I want to get my sentiment going, and this one, this is such an old favorite of mine. It's called Jolly Sentiments. We got Holly Jolly Holiday, Merry and Bright, I've Been Nice, Don't Be a Grinch, Deck the Halls, and Hello Santa. But today it's all about a letter to Santa. So I'm going to bring that in down there. Anyway, and I'm just, you know what, I'm going to use the properties of these lovely inks. I am going to use this ink pad throughout. This is my Just Peachy, which we used for everything else already. But I'm going to double up because it's quite faint. So we're going to double up and come in again. There we are, thereby intensifying that color. I love the Santa. I love the word Santa. It's almost like it's written in chalk. It's broken up. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous effect. There we are. So that time we spritzed. So there we are. Hello Santa, Just Peachy. More intensity. That's triple stamped. Now, if you wanted to do that first time, you just choose the color. But what I'm trying to show you is the contrast that I can get by just using that single ink pad. Right, next up. Now, I'm taking my stamp. My stamp is going to sit, I think about there. It's going to come off the edge. But I want to get a postmark. I want to get a lovely postmark. So let's put, North Pole Express. That's proper Santa, isn't it? There we are. Now I'm going to do these two together. So with that one there, let's bring this down like so. So I'll ink it, and this time just a single stamp. Okay, see how much lighter it is than the Hello Santa? That's the difference with multiple stamping, but most importantly, I've got that one in as well. Do you know what? I think I need something else. And that is going to be these. What do you call answers on a postcard? What do you call those wavy lines that we see? I know it's a frank mark. Is that what we call the wavy lines? Does it have a name? Or is it just one of those things that we take for granted that has no actual name, like the back of the knee, for example? No medical name for the back of the knee. Amazing the things you learn watching one of my videos. No use to you, but you know, amazing nonetheless. Right, there we have it. Now let's take a holly and a little piece of 3D foam. And I'm going to place that down there. Again, the holly, remember, was triple stamped. So that has the same color intensity as the Hello Santa. Now, we are talking about dye inks, are we not? So let's take this away. Let's take this away for a second. Because I want to use them like one would use water reactive inks for blending. So I'm going to reach down and get my maker's mat. Here it is. Now, I'll put that down there. I'm bringing this now. I'm also going to use this. We're just using one color. The only other color is the watermelon. That's for the deeper red that goes around the edge. But we've already done that. So I'll pick it up. So blending foam, you're familiar with these. So I'll work off the edge, and then I will just bring, and we'll show you the difference when I put this back against the same color card to show you the level of contrast which we're getting. So it's the same ink, but it's barely perceptible. If you look down here, compared to that, it's incredible, isn't it? And that's what you get with dye ink. So we've stamped with it, and we've blended with it, we've mottled, we've spritzed, we've done so many things. That's why I love water reactive dye inks, because it gives you so many more options in terms of contrast. See the difference? That's incredible, isn't it? And that's all one color. All one color. Now I'm going to take this one, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to work around the edges. And having the peach, the just peachy, against the watermelon, again gives us a lovely contrast. So to stick these two together, I'm going to use an old favourite of mine. I brought it down. And so I think I've got two in work, because I'm always misplacing one, and I've got one at home. It's my tiny attacher. And I put these two together like that. So I'm going to staple. That's what we're doing. Now let's get my stamp. Let's not forget our stamp. 1, 2, 3. So it's always good to have 3 anchor points. You could put, some people like to put 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. 3 will keep that stable. There we are. Make sure that we line it up with the postmark. And then finally, let's peel away. Here's a blank card, which I've placed some double-sided foam. Pop that there. And there we have it. There's Hello Santa. I'm going to show you some examples in a second. I'm going to show you the inks as well. So we'll talk a bit more about the inks. And then I'll show you some more samples of cards, which I actually did before the inks came along. And here they are. Right. So, in no particular order. Here we are. So I've used greys, I've used different colours here. Wow, just really cool. You see there's the snowflake, there's the bauble, there's the tree. There's all of those lovely stamps from the Jolly Sentiments as well. There's the tree, all the frank marks, everything, all in the set, 25th of December. Again, same sort of thing. How about going completely monochromatic? Just one colour of grey. Pretty cool, isn't it? No, actually, I did use 2 colours of grey for this, I remember now. Apologies for my inaccuracy. Use a couple of stamps. See, we got different size stamps as well. We've got the thinner one and we've got the square one. And then finally, let's put all 3 together. So with just a couple of colours of grey, you don't need to throw in all that colour. And there, my friends, is the one that we just created. But let's talk about the inks for a second, because I think first of all, kudos to Janine and the guys at Ranger, because the names of the colours, I'm a sucker for good. So that's watermelon. Strawberry pie. Have you ever had strawberry pie, Steve? You have. He's smiling, which means it was a good experience. It was a good experience? It was. He's nodding. That's good. Thank you, Steve. He does speak, Ben. There you go. Now, just peachy. We were just seeing that. This, I'm in love with this color. This is Pink Sands. Now, it's such a warm. It's a pink. It's a peach. It's a cream. It does so much. I just love this color palette. Daffodil. Now, as a Welshman, I love that because that is the national flower of my country. Cappuccino. Oh, and salted caramel. Oh, come on. It just keeps getting better and better. We've got mint chill. We've got green jean. I love that name is stuck in my head all day. Green jean. And that's the thing. It's so memorable. Rainforest. It's that lovely deep greeny blue. This one is Arctic Blitz. Such a wonderful intensity. You can fade it out to nothing, or you can have that super intense blue. This is more of a true blue. This is Summer Sky. I've seen a lot of that lately, for once in the UK. Then we'll go into the greys. Now, this is Off the Rails. That's a lovely dark grey. And this one is a warmer grey. This is Fossil. So when you fade that out, when you blend it, it gives you a warmer kind of finish, whereas that one, there's more of a blue-black. This one is definitely quite a bit of brown in it. And then finally, I think every collection needs a good lavender, but getting that lavender right is extreme. The peach for me and this lavender is the most gorgeous color. It really is. I'm going to show you some samples now made with these. So let's drag this out of the way, or shall I lift it? I don't know. I couldn't drag it because, you know, we've got the end of it in shot, doesn't matter. I couldn't drag it because it's silicone, and you can't drag silicone. Yeah, exactly. Now, I've got some swatches here. So take a look at how, just smooching some of those different colors. That lovely lavender, there it is, that's Rainforest. That is my Summer Sky. Oh, look at this. Look at this. That one is Salted Caramel. It's great, isn't it? It's really nice. There you go, watermelon coming on here. There's some of your greens. There's your green jean, your daffodil over the top. We've got the Summer Sky, and we've got the Rainforest in there. That lovely colour under there, that is the mint chill with Rainforest and green jeans. So some great super blends. I've done these really quick, so I just wanted you to see, to get an idea of some of the blends that you can achieve, some of the great contrasts. I'll talk about the individual colours in a sec. I know because I wrote them on the back. So, but yeah, look, these are two brown, these are two greys. So that's Off the Rails, right? And this is the other one, which is Fossil. So you can see that one's kind of a brown, coming into a brown, and that one is much darker. So it's a different, totally different effect. This one, now, Lavender Kisses. That's that lovely lavender. Isn't it a gorgeous colour? Now, I love pairing lavender and green, so that's your Rainforest. And this one is the Arctic Blitz. So that's that. It's a very blue-green. Gorgeous colour, isn't it? It really is. What have we got? Here's our greens again. That's the Mint Chill. That's the Green Jean. That is the Rainforest. So that's just good. Just three greens. Just three greens. You could throw in some of the blues as well. You know, you really could. That is going to give you an incredible blend. Then what have we got left, folks? Now these are those browns. Now, Pink Sands. You see, you go really intense. It's got that kind of it is a pink. It is a true pink, but then you fade it out, and it works so well with these two browns. So that is Salted Caramel, and that is Cappuccino. I think Cappuccino is my new favorite brand. I love it because it fades out so beautifully to a cream. This one has that red, kind of almost like a rust color, but it's very much a brown. This one, Daffodil. Yeah, Just Peachy is over there. Then we've got Watermelon. Then Watermelon, Strawberry Pie, which apparently, according to Steve, is delicious. And this is the, let me think, oh, Pink Sands. Pink Sands again. So blending with the reds, Pink Sands with the reds or the browns It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's fabulous, really, really cool. And then we've got our blues, our summer sky, our Arctic blast, and our lavender down the bottom. Just really, really nice colors. Great palette, so easy to work with. I love the intensity of the pigments. We talked about stamping by blending these inks on the face of the stamp. These are just some examples of how you can use those ink pads, spritz, and then stamp and get that lovely, lovely watercolor mottling effect. Such great, I can't wait to work more with them. But for more information, you know, obviously Ranger's website and Janine's website for 49er Market, they will have chapter and verse on this. It's been such a privilege. I'd like to thank Janine and Kathy at Ranger for getting these over to me and allowing me to play with them. It has been so much fun. So there we have it. Great inks, great stamps, great dyes, great companies, 49er Market and Ranger. Marriage made in heaven. Now, if you want to see more content, then there will be lots and lots coming from Janine and her making team, no doubt. And go to Instagram, go to Facebook, go to YouTube, all the places you usually find your Sizzix content. There'll be plenty of it out there, so it's a great way to start the festive season. I'll see you again soon.